You have to disarm your insecurities. Where do they come from? The longer you sit in that feeling of insecurity, the longer you remain stuck. Move past it. Hi, my name is Sherry Webb. Not only am I a life coach, but I am a mother, author, blogger, sister, friend, an aunt, and an all-around businesswoman on the move. And I like to refer to myself as the mind shift coach because I know that changing your mindset, it happens one shift at a time. I want to talk with you about disarming your enemy. You may be asking, who's my enemy? We all have them. And I'm not talking about any particular person, right? Your enemy is your insecurities, people that don't believe in you, people that are negative and carry negative energy. Your enemy is anything from your past that continues to creep up on you and hold you back and always remind you of your past and who you used to be. Your enemy is any disbelief you have about yourself. And those are the things that are working against you. Your enemy is anything that is working against you, right? And so, in order to move forward in life, in order to make any progress, first of all, you got to stop looking back there. Forget the past. You can't look back no more. The only time you want to look back and reflect on the past is you want to remember. You want to remember a lesson that life taught you. You want to remember the good times, right? There's nothing wrong with remembering the good times. That's a good thing. But you don't want to dwell on the past. There's nothing wrong with, looking back if you're looking back to remember something that you learned that will help you move forward. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we get the lesson. We get the lesson in life. We're like, whoo, I'm glad I got through that. But then you go back into another storm and you're like, oh no, I'm not going through this again. So then you have to remember, meaning go back to the past for just a moment and remember what life taught you about this type of storm, right? And then you have an idea of how to navigate through it to get to the other side, right? And so disarming your enemy means disarming any insecurities that you're holding on to that may be holding you back in life. And the only time your insecurities kick in is if you are about to embark upon something new or embark upon something that's familiar. And then your insecurities kick in. You know what your insecurities are? Insecurities are an activation. They're your memory. It's the activation of your memory of a time in your life that caused you some type of pain. It's the activation of a memory that reminds you of a time or a period or an experience that you went through in your life where you didn't have what you needed. You lacked something, right? An insecurity is a activation of a memory of what someone said to you in the past or how someone treated you in the past. But guess what I'm saying? See, notice the commonality in all of these is the past, right? So your insecurities come from something that happened to you in the past, and you got to disarm your insecurities. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you do that. So, number one, your insecurities are nothing more than fear. You're fearing going through the same thing. You're fearing not being enough. You may be fearing failing. You may even, believe it or not, have a fear of success. If I succeed, can I continue to succeed? Right? And then your insecurities kick in. You know, insecurity is a lack of confidence in any area. And we were not born with the spirit of insecurity. We were not born and created to feel less than. So your insecurities are a lie. And the way to overcome them is to, first of all, don't ever dwell in the past. There's nothing wrong with reflecting. You can reflect, because sometimes we need to reflect in order to move forward. We need to remember something. You know what I mean? And so there's nothing wrong with reflecting. But with it, the problem comes in when you reflect and then you stay there. You stay dwelling. Now you're dwelling in the past. You're not just reflecting like, what did life teach me about, that particular whatever scenario I went through, or relationship, or job, or people. What did life teach me about that in the past? And that's remembering. But then dwelling is when you sit there and you emotionally involve yourself in a past memory, a past situation, circumstance, or experience that you went through, and you emotionally entrap yourself in feeling those negative feelings again. Now you are dwelling in the past, and guess what? Your past is over. It's gone. It's gone. It's over. It is no more. And so when you dwell in the past, you kick up those feelings of insecurity. If you're dwelling on those things that caused you to feel insecure in the first place. And so when you dwell in the past, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible for you to even be in the present moment. How can you be in the present moment? Your body may physically be in the present moment, but your mind, your heart, and everything within you is in the past, feeling the feelings and replaying those painful moments, or those moments in your life that didn't feel so good, that made you feel less than, and you cannot move forward if you're in the past. You have got to disarm your enemy. Your enemy is any insecurity or thought processes that are keeping you from moving forward. So if you're in the past, you're not in the present, that's for sure. Like I said, your body may be present in this moment, but your mind and your heart, your soul is stuck in the past. So you're not in the present. And if you're in the present, there's no way in the world you can move forward, And all we have, here's the truth about the past, the present, and the future. All we have is right now. All you have is right now in this moment. The past is no more. It is gone. It's gone. The future has yet to come. Your future is you right now, in this moment, creating your future. Because all you're doing in the present is creating your future. And so if you want to disarm your enemy, you have to become present in the moment. You cannot dwell on people that hurt you. You cannot dwell on situations that you've gone through that caused you a great deal of pain. And I'm not saying that you can't remember them. You can absolutely remember them, because our painful moments are where we get our biggest lessons in life. And let me just say and state for the record that when I say don't dwell in the past, I'm not talking about, there are some situations where it's hard to move forward, right? And those situations, it may come from grieving the loss of a loved one. This is not about that, okay? Because I know what that feels like, and you can't put a timeline on someone's grief. You cannot tell someone not to think about past memories of someone they've lost. I personally have friends right now who are grieving the loss of a loved one. So I am not referring to that type of reflecting about the past. You know what I mean? Because in that scenario, in that situation, that becomes part of the healing process. But I'm talking about people, if you're one of them, that dwell in the past, and their past is actually their enemy, because the past was painful. And so instead of creating a new path in life, if you are guilty of this, it's time to do something different. It's time to shift. So instead of creating a new path in life, new memories, new beliefs about yourself, instead of believing something new about yourself, you are stuck in the past and recalling and replaying all the bad or negative things that you went through, or that people said to you, or the way people treated you, or anything like that. It's just taken away from your present moment. Disarm that enemy. Disarm that enemy so that you can move forward, right? Disarm that enemy so that you can create a new path. And so I'm speaking to those who you may not have even been aware that this is something that you've been doing. It's remaining stuck in your mind in the past and replaying that, and that has become your enemy, and it continues to bring up your insecurities. It continues to remind you of who you were. It continues to remind you of what you've gone through. It continues to make you feel like sorry for yourself, like you shouldn't have had to deal with that, instead of actually, thinking forward, having a forward thought process, and deciding that you will create a new path for your life, and that you can and will choose happiness. Okay? So that's a whole thing in and of itself. When you choose happiness, you disarm your enemy. Whether your enemy is a hater, your past, your insecurities, stuff you've gone through, your financial situation, disarm your enemy and decide today that you will choose a different path, and that your enemy will no longer have that power over you. There's so many people, I see it all the time. There are so many people, and it's a sad thing to see, that are stuck, literally stuck in the past, and they don't know how to get out. Don't be one of those people. You can create a new path for your life. You can choose differently. You can choose happiness. You can choose to be successful. And if you're already successful, you can choose to go to the next level. See, life is all about choices. You can choose to disarm your enemy. And it's as simple as that. All right. I thank y'all for joining me. I cannot wait until the next video that will help you to better your life, to help you shift your mindset. It's all about your mindset. Your mindset is everything. And I don't care what anybody says. If you think about all the messages that are out there right now, about changing this and changing that and succeeding here and doing this and doing that, at the end of the day, nothing changes unless you change your mindset. And I know for a fact that your mindset changes one shift at a time. I know for a fact that your mindset dictates your behavior. So look at how you're behaving. Look at how you're thinking, or think about what you're thinking, I should say. But pay attention to your behavior. Pay attention to your auto responses to things. Pay attention to what triggers that insecurity within you. Because when you do that, that is the beginning of you disarming that enemy. You do not have to live going through your life feeling insecure, feeling less than, because you are enough. Okay? All right. Thank y'all for joining me, and I will see you on the next video. Be blessed.